Hey, True Seeker, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, October 21st, 2015, the big news story was that Joe Biden won't run for president, and this came after more than a month of the media hyping that he likely would. The whole time the media was providing all this hype for the Joe Biden presidential run, I was asking myself, what would Joe Biden run on? As a 36-year senator, he has zero political accomplishments. As a second term vice president, he has zero political accomplishments. The only time I can think of Joe Biden making media headlines was for accidentally cussing into microphones that were left on. Joe Biden has nothing to show for himself despite more than 40 years in Washington, D.C. The truth is, Truth Seeker, the reason Joe Biden is being talked about as the next president possibly is because he likely will be the next president, and not because of election, but because of the planned assassination of Barack Obama, which has been foreshadowed since the beginning of his presidency. Recall that on February 11th, the 42nd day of the year, Obama reopened Ford's Theater in 2009. That is where Lincoln was assassinated. Obama's from the land of Lincoln. The only other time in history that theater was reopened was 1968, the year MLK was assassinated. Think about it. 42, that's the year Biden was born in. The number for Freemason is 42. Obama reopening that place on the 42nd day of the year. It's not hard to put two and two together. Anyhow, Biden is the 47th vice president. Remember, the word president has gematria of 47. This year on 4/7, April 7th, there was a blackout at the White House reported in the mainstream media. Think about the joke of a blackout at the White House with the first black president. The name Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. has gematria of 117. He was elected Senator 11/7, 1972. As I so often say, these politicians are picked by their numbers. This is the way the Freemasons operate. The name Joseph in simple English gematria sums to 73. This year he will be turning 73 years old. When his wife died, she died on this number, 73, which we'll talk about. Joe Biden, born November 20th, 1942, has a life lesson number of 47, just like the word president, 47th VP. Also a date with 73 numerology, a special number to him. He'll be turning 73 November 20th of this year. Should be noted that the last president to die in office was Lyndon B. Johnson, having name gematria of 64 and 73. He replaced JFK, the 44th term president who was assassinated. Joe Biden in gematria sums to 64 with simple English gematria, connecting to Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson would sign the Civil Rights Act into being. Civil rights has gematria of 64 and 73. The act happened in the year 64 on a date with 73 numerology. Interesting note, Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act 223 days after the assassination of JFK. Special number to the Masons. JFK assassinated in Dealey Plaza, a Masonic tribute. Also a number corresponding with the Zionists, who are also known as the Synagogue of Satan, the false Jews. They operate out of Israel. Israel has this gematria of 64, the number we see coded all over all of these individuals and incidents. And it is the false Jews, the Zionist Jews, who control the United States of America. With regards to his wife, Neela Hunter in Pythagorean gematria sums to 58, like Freemasonry, and the big way, her name sums to 139, also like Freemasonry the big way. No doubt Joe Biden a Masonic man, and these Masonic men often have Masonic coded wives, which I show again and again. It's very creepy. The date she died on, December 18th, 1972, a date with interesting numerology connecting to Revelation. This came 41 days after Biden was elected one of the youngest senators in U.S. history. A span of 1 month and 11 days. We'll talk about how 111 connects to the death of his son this past year. Also, with the end date included, a span of 42 days. Remember, the word Freemason equals 42. Biden born in 42. The date Biden became a U.S. Senator was a date with 37 numerology, just like Joe Biden, the small way. And again, Joe Biden's full name, the big way, sums to 117, a lot like the date, November 7th. The date he would become a senator was in the year 73, on a date with 26 numerology, the God number, connected to his wife's first name. A date with 79 numerology, connected to the word murder. I very much think he had to have his family murdered for his future political power. Perhaps then, as a 30-year-old, Biden was told what his future would be: a long career in Washington, ending with the presidency. I've explained this with Bill Clinton and many others, how it seems that these people were raised from birth to be presidents, and almost all of these people's lives, they've had people close to them killed, from loved ones, including wives, to also fathers and family members. The name Joseph has gematria of 73, Joe Biden's birth name. The date he's born on has numerology of 73. The word sacrifice has gematria of 73. He's turning 73 years old this year. And when his first wife died, she died in Hawkinson, Delaware, which has gematria of 73. Notice that Delaware has gematria of 33. Only 3 states do. The first and last, Delaware and Hawaii. Obama's from Hawaii, Biden's from Delaware. And also the 6th state, Massachusetts, where the Kennedys hail from. So this year, Joe Biden got sympathy because his son supposedly died from brain cancer. This story came out of nowhere. Nobody heard that his son had brain cancer. And for most of us, we probably didn't even know that Joe Biden had a son. His son, Beau, rhyming with Joe. Notice that Beau Biden died at 46, the reflection of 64. The name Joe Biden equals 64. In the King James Version of the Bible, Psalm 46 has a 666 tribute to it. When you write out 46, it sums to 46. Beau Biden, born on a very special day. His name in gematria sums to 36. Joe Biden was senator for 36 years. When you sum 1 through 36, it totals 666. He supposedly died of brain cancer. Both brain and cancer have gematria of 44. And Beau Biden was the 44th Attorney General of Delaware, the kill number. Obama's the 44th president. The date Beau Biden was born on, a date with 74 and 93 numerology, numbers that have to do with sacrifice. Jesus and cross equals 74, crucifix equals 93. He was born on the 34th day of the year. The word murder has gematria of 34. From his birthday to his death was a span of 116 days, or the number 911 upside down. CNN also put out this headline about him: quite simply, the finest man, having gematria of 111, a number that connects to his wife's death. He also died at Walter Reed Medical Hospital, which is a place very much centered around numerological conspiracy. Walter Reed also sums to 111. Days after Beau Biden died, Joe Biden got sympathy in the media because Ted Cruz made fun of him on the date of June 4th. Think about that date. It can be written 6/4, a lot like 64 for Joe Biden, or 4/6, a lot like 46, the age Beau Biden had just died at. Ted Cruz announced his candidacy for president on March 22nd, 322 like Skull and Bones, also 223 like Synagogue of Satan. It is the Synagogue of Satan who are the puppeteers of all these phony politicians. He made these remarks in Michigan, which has gematria of 46 and 64. Look at how nicely this ties up with the Joe Biden, Beau Biden numbers, and he did it just days after the Beau Biden death. And then he had to apologize on June 4th. This is what I mean when I say that this mainstream media is one staged hoax after another. If you want to watch my video on the death of Beau Biden, I go into it in greater detail. It's on my blog. It's on the video channel. As for yesterday's headlines about Biden won't run, notice the gematria of 159. From the death of Beau Biden, May 30th, to November 5th of this year, is a span of 159 days. And November 5th is an interesting date. A lot of you know, remember, the 5th of November from V for Vendetta. Check this out. The headline that went up after that yesterday was this one. First, CNN had up this headline. Then they took that down and they put up this. With Biden out, who gains most? And the gematria here was very interesting. The big way, 313. The small way, 115. 115 corresponds with the death JFK was assassinated on, the 44th term president. He died November 22nd, 1963, a date with 115 numerology. The Zapruder film, it is slide 313 that shows JFK's his head coming apart. The most graphic slide is 313. Notice that the word killing sums to 115, Freemasons equals 115. The name John F. Kennedy in simple English gematria equals 131, which fits nicely with 313. When you add these numbers together, it sums to 444, like killing. Oswald equals 444. I've done videos recently on the JFK assassination. I talked about how heavily the number 144 was counted in. His brother Bobby Kennedy would die at 144. This number is tied to the death of Lincoln, the death of Martin Luther King, the death of Malcolm X. Should Obama be assassinated, President Biden stepping in will have the perfect name gematria to tie off the conspiracy. There's always 144 connected to these major political assassinations. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. Obama, the 44th president, JFK, the 44th term. JFK died on the first day of Sagittarius. A lot like his brother's death time of 1:44 in the morning. And with regards to 115 and November 5th, what we're looking at here is the cover of the 2015 Economist, where Barack Obama was front and center, grayed out with a number of other politicians. Down in the corner are these numbers. Those numbers are 115 and 113, a lot like the dates of November 5th and November 3rd. Should be noted that Economist in gematria sums to 113, just like the words mainstream and dishonest. So it seems funny these headlines also point to that date, which comes 15 days before Biden turns 73. He'll be 72 just like the year his wife died in. Then he became senator in 73. For one last piece of evidence, check this out, Truth Seeker. On August 24th, Obama gave Biden his blessing to run for president. Weird headlines. Blessing has gematria of 33, a number important to both Biden and Obama. From August 24th, the date of the blessing, to November 5th is a span of 73 days, that number of sacrifice. If you count the end date, it's a span of 74 days, a number connected to the Masons and killing. Also, from Obama's birthday to November 5th is a span of 93 days, a number having to do with occult sacrifice through the religion Thelema. Should November 5th be the day, remember all of this coding. The writing is on the wall for Obama, and tragedy does follow Biden for a very specific reason, because he's a Masonic madman, just like the other tyrants in high places. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.